Cool.
Hello and welcome behind the bar of a pint of Cthulhu. I'm Flower, and for once I'm interviewing each of the cast of the pint of Cthulhu. Today we have, who do we have today?
That would be me. I'm Cartman, or Sam's my actual real name. I played Viney in the D&D series. I can't remember the other characters I played, but I'll figure that out. And yeah, I'm in good fun.
Nice. So that's the first question sorted, so we'll move on to the second. Give us a vague area of where you're from, so like the US, the UK.
Yeah, I'm in the southeast of England, sort of in the countryside, as I say it. I live in a nice sort of quaint village. Yeah, fun times.
Nice. I'm quite jealous of that, really. I'm just living in like a city.
No, I am lucky. We used to live like on a council estate, you would call it.
Yeah.
But no, we moved out to the country. We got a we're very lucky. As I said, lovely walks around here, as we say, and good pubs.
I'm even more jealous now. Right. Next question. What games systems have you tried in the past?
Game systems, as in like D&D,
sort of,
or are we talking about video games?
Either one, really. So if you want to talk about like D&D, the RPG, like TTRPGs.
Yeah. So I've always okay. So I'll answer it pretty broadly then. So I've always been into sort of role-playing games. I probably started with good old Oblivion back in 2009. I caught one late, and always just just enjoyed that sort of role-play and getting into it and just sort of what I can get out of a situation and or this I can discover about it, or just maybe play around. So I guess
escapism.
sort of, yeah, a bit of escapism, but it's also playing the character to its fullest as well. Like, I've always been a person, if I play an RPG game, even going back to early RPG games, I would always be dedicated to a certain role. If I chose, like, for instance, a magic or a ranged character, I wouldn't, like, just diversify. I would play that character out to its own morals.
Yeah.
And even if that may be contrary to me as an own person.
Putting yourself into their shoes.
Yeah. Embracing the character, I say it. Make the character be its own person, not just a representation of yourself, which I think is important.
Yeah. So that's part of that conversation, that question. So, what systems like TTRPG ones now?
Yeah. So, I'll be honest with you. When it comes to sort of like more the tabletop stuff, never really got into that until recently. I say I honestly started when Matt sort of came to me and said, "Oh, we want to do Cthulhu." So, as I said, I think the first episode we ever recorded was actually my first ever game, and actually figuring out the system as I went along. But as I always say, I roll with it. So
nice.
Just take as it goes. But I've always been sort of interested in sort of D&D. I never say I listen to a podcast. That's never been my thing. But I've always been, just interested in it. I'd be like, wouldn't turn it down. And when the opportunity came up with Matt, I was like, yeah, I'm game for it.
Yeah. Kind of leads into my next question. But what made you want to try the game you played?
I guess we'll talk just D&D and sort of Cthulhu. It was really the thing of, as I said, I've always had a interest in like tabletop RPGs, i.e. D&D, Cthulhu, bit of mystery and as I said, the fantasy, the unknown, stuff like that. Bit of supernatural as well with Cthulhu. Really enjoy it. just it drew on me essentially, and being a character in the world and exploring it for my own and getting the jump scares is always it just adds another layer to it.
Love the experience.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Why did you pick this group in particular?
Well, it was more the case that I'm very good friends with Matt, and I've known Matt a very long time. And it was he was sort of getting into it, and he was like, "Oh, I'm putting a crew together, and are you interested?" And I wasn't shy about it. A bit of a lie. I actually didn't want to record because I always said to him I never liked the sound of my voice recorded. But that died quick. But it's more opportunity for me. As I said, thanks to Matt, he really sort of got me on board. And then once I was committed, I was like, yeah, I'll stick with this, and just play these characters as best I can, and sort of try to give them their own style, but also as well don't take away my own style as well.
Yeah, that's understandable. I understand that. Have you played much outside of the Painters group?
No, only with those guys. It's just a weekly D&D for me, which I really enjoy, and we obviously record as well, which is always nice to share. It's life is busy. I can only game so much, so just D&D on the weekend with the Epoch crew. It's always good fun.
Yeah. It's good that you've got like that one like close group of friends, so you can just jump into the world of D&D, jump into the world of Cthulhu, jump into the world of I can't think of any more. Say another example of Pathfinder or I don't know.
No, you got it. Yeah. Again, it's really more Matt really, because the sort of got me to do this. It was his sort of brainworm, his idea, and he was like, oh yeah, you should get on this. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'll roll with it.
Yeah. What do you want to try next?
That's a good question. I mean, there's quite a few games that are in the pipeline that we have talked about, and I don't know what I can share right now. I don't know when this is going to be aired.
Fear Matt, yes, fear Matt.
So, I guess I can say is that we are going to be playing a variety of games, and we have got a few one shots coming as well that have we've tested different sort of systems and different traits and different characters, and they've been good fun and sort of easy to learn and get going with them. But for me, it's a sport of the same. D&D is sort of a spectrum. You got the subgroups of D&D. This is really what they fall into. But for me, it's more of the friends that I've got. The group around me, and sort of enjoying this game as all of us. And as I say, getting into it and playing the characters and just seeing what we can do, and what chaos we can sometimes get into.
So what you're saying, as long as you're with this crew, you're happy to play whatever?
I'm happy to play with any crew, really. It doesn't have to be this crew. I mean, I'm pretty flexible if anyone fancies an invite. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I enjoy D&D for the sake of D&D, and I try to get into the character role and into its own sort of, and make it its own person and its own evolving thing.
Oh, cool. Next one. Where do you see this podcast going, or or would you like to see it going?
That's a tricky one, really. I'm kind of happy, where we're at, really. As I said, for me, it's a core aspect of the game. I enjoy playing the game for what it is. The recordings and the channel and all that is kind of sort of a side boon for me, and the fact that we've got people listening to us, I feel, is just a bit astonishing, really. I mean, why would people want to listen to my silly voice? I've never got that myself. But yeah, I mean, I would hope we keep this going for a little while, and it's it's going to be fun and everything like that. But as I said, the recording the channel is just gravy for me.
Bonus.
That's it. Yeah.
I like that. Nice answer. If you were to run a game, a one-shot campaign, what system would you want to run?
Sort of. It has to be an easy to learn system. I mean, I would probably have to say D&D, as I'm probably most used to that one by now, playing quite a bit of that. But to answer that a bit more of a broader spectrum, I would like to play or be a DM of a evolving story where I can sort of really, I don't know, make the characters think of their situation and not just run in blindly as sometimes we just do. I want them to be in a situation where, should we, choose to run in there and react, or should we play this more passively and maybe possibly get more out of this?
So you'd run something with more than just go in there, kill that, go in there, kill that.
Yeah, I would like to see some more puzzles in our games. A bit more, like, instead of just, walking in and smashing a group of people together, which is always good fun. Maybe the occasional, like, puzzle or, like, word game, or, something you've got to figure out. Like give us a goddamn riddle, why not?
I'm sure whoever's going to be running the next one-shot campaign will like to to know that.
Well, I always say, variety is the spice of life.
Yep, I agree with you so much there, mate. So much there. Yeah. Right, next one. Who would you like to have as a guest, either to GM or as a player?
Anyone who's sort of willing to sort of play with us, really. I'm open-ended, and as I said, I'm happy if anyone wants to join us for a one shot or a casual game. It's again, for me, I enjoy playing the game for what it is. More people is more chaos. So yeah, it only makes it more fun. But I would say as well that in D&D there can be a point where we have too many players. So it's where we can be sitting there and and we're battling, and it takes like 10 minutes to get around around the game. It can be a bit like, okay, only 5 minutes of game time has passed, but I've been sitting here 10 minutes. It's like, okay, that's alright, it's fine. Yeah. But as I said, I think in games coming up, it's when we get interesting storylines, stuff like that, it should be good fun. We get there.
Yeah. What is your go-to class for these sorts of games?
So I guess I'd always either go for like a range guy or a intellect, or something that's not just beat someone down with a club. I've always found that violence is an answer, but not always the best answer. I'll rather play an intellect or a charismatic or a sleuth, someone who's going to sneak around and maybe do a headshot now and again.
Yeah.
That for me, I feel there are more opportunities in a character, whereas you know, you can't go wrong with the good old Gertrude Smash, though. I would say that too.
I'm sure Cap and Took would be quite happy with that answer. Yeah, I understand that. It's all different. Because there's all different ways to play the game. You can go in Smash, you can go to the side, stay in the shadows, try to find some information, or you can like solve the puzzles, stuff like that.
So I like to bring sort of the first thing we did APOC, where we were going through the Pint of Cthulhu sort of the murder mystery ones. I like with those ones, it was very much beneficial for your characters to be an intellect, to be a sort of good with history or a bit of you know, finding things and stuff like that, which was, you know, a very different game, but very enjoyable in a different way compared to what I say was D&D, where we did sort of get into the fight and smash routine quite a bit.
Yeah. I say, like you said, the bios to spice life. It's good to have the different classes to the different jobs.
That's it. And as I said earlier, I think adding a few more puzzles to our games could be fun as well. Just to, you know, instead of the old fight and smash, we've got a door. We've got to figure out the puzzle.
Very insightful. Well, I think we're about halfway with my questions up to now, so not too bad. So how did you get into these sorts of games?
Again, it was Matt. It was Matt was the one who really sort of, you know, gave me the opportunity to sort of get into this. It's always been an interest in me. I've always sort of gone, yeah, I'll play that. If, you know, people get around, you know, if people want me to. And then, you know, when Matt was getting into it and he bought the Pint of Cthulhu and started reading into that and started putting a game together. Yeah, we sort of got onto it, and he invited me onto it, and I just sort of stuck with it.
So what you're saying, it's Matt's fault?
Essentially, it's always Matt's fault.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have to get a t-shirt of that. Oh,
that should be a Discord quote. It's always Matt's fault.
Yeah, just put that constantly.
Matt, you bookmark that. So that when you edit this.
Pint of Cthulhu, it's Matt's fault. Right, nice. Anything you would like to say to those who are listening?
Hello. No, I mean it's more the case of you know, thank you for listening and anything like that. I mean, I was very much expecting a bit of unsure at the beginning, I guess the word is, that we would even get anybody to listen to us. As I said, I mean, yeah, I thought we were just going to put these up on the internet and see what happens, and just, you know, we might get the occasional random people listen to it for like 5 minutes and turn us off because, well, it is. So, yeah, I was a bit surprised when we started picking up viewers. I was like, oh, cool. People actually want to listen to our bullshit.
Yeah. And I say that as for experience. So what have you learnt from doing this podcast?
So much. I mean, I don't know if you've gathered from what you've listened about me. I'm not the exact most technology inclined guy. So, I mean, Audacity was a learning curve.
Same.
D&D, playing all the systems, as you were saying, that was a massive learning curve. You know, everything's been sort of learning, and trying to keep up with Matt and the other guys who've played this game a lot more than I have. I like to think I'm pretty good with my gab, so I can sort of bluster my way through, but actually playing the game, sometimes I do struggle. I've got to figure it out for a sec. And obviously the guys then rip into me, but circle life.
Yeah, I've been in games where people just rip into me, so it's fine. Memorable moments. Yeah. I won't go into that.
Just the old silence, my old friend, right?
Yeah. Memorable moments from games, like from APOC.
Yeah, I mean the Shotgun Baby was a classic.
Yeah.
That's an early one. And D&D has been very memorable. Some good moments. Yeah. It had to be, but yeah, it has to be good old back in the beginning, the old Shotgun Baby. That was just, yeah, that has to be the mouth opener. That has to be the mouth opener one. It's like, okay, that happened.
Yes. I think that's what most people remember as well. Plus the Spider Baby.
Yes, I think I remember that one.
I'm pretty sure that Jay remembers that as well. Next one done. Favourite character you've played?
Again, I think it's going to be Viney from D&D.
Yeah.
I think with my other character on A Planet of Cthulhu, firstly I was just starting to get into this sort of game, like these sort of role plays, stuff like that, and I could have played it better. APOC was quite tricky to learn and quite to get into and sort of figure out, because it was more intellectual. I know what I mean. And sort of figuring things out like murder mystery, where D&D, as I said, is a bit more intuitive and easy to get sort of run with. Also with Viney, by the time I sort of started playing Viney, I already had a fair bit of like background from APOC and stuff like that, so I could sort of when we were
pull
sort
from
of
experience.
You draw from experience, and when we were getting into starting D&D in sort of the week or two before that, we were like talking about our characters and how we were going to play them and sort of playing them out a bit more. Because you got to remember, with me with APOC, our very first series, I literally came on board sort of 4 or 5 days before we started recording, and Matt just like dumped all the information on me, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Trying to like read through this sort of murder mystery thing on like the PDFs and all that sort of stuff, trying to sort of get with it, and at the same time learning the systems. And yeah, it was a good series, but I enjoyed D&D more because I knew more and I could play around more with Viney, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. There we go. What's your go-to snack and drink when you're gaming?
Yeah, so Coke and chocolate.
Classics.
Yeah.
Classics.
Yeah, Coke and chocolate.
Something that's quiet for when you're doing the recordings, I suppose.
I try not to eat when I'm recording because the microphone's quite sensitive, and Matt has actually had to go at me a few times for scrunkles.
Yeah,
because it's not just chocolate and Coke, it's also crisps as well. They're my demon.
Popcorn.
Yeah, for me when it comes to food, it's what's on deal. If there's a good deal on the shop, I'll buy it. Toffee popcorn, 20% off. Hell yes.
Yeah, walk in with like pizza or carby.
Yeah, no. I guess if you're talking proper food, then I am a pizza man. But then I am an Englishman, and I do like my roast dinners. I'm a very lucky man in the countryside. We have a butcher's. We have good food, good meat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Kind of a similar question we've had before, but a bit different. If you could pick a game setting to run a game in, where would it be?
Science fiction, actually. So yeah, not many people know this because this is recorded. I did say earlier, but I am quite a bit of a science fiction fan myself. Read a lot of books on it in my spare time and stuff like that. So science fiction would be the setting I would choose. I'll definitely have fun with that one with the characters. I might be able to do something, but We don't know. Yeah, that's what I'll choose.
Nice. Yeah, because it's always good to run what you know.
Yeah. As I said, science fiction, and me, I've read a lot of science fiction. I mean, I could probably fill a good half an hour interview just on science fiction alone. But, that's another day. About what I'm maybe thinking about doing, if I ever get around to running a D&D session, is try a science fiction setting, like a spaceship, and I don't know, maybe an alien encounter or a new world. Play around with it,
Yeah. I think I know a couple of things I can send you. So I've done that one. Do you prefer to run the games, or do you prefer to be in them?
In them at the moment. I feel like I don't have enough experience to run a game at the moment. Please remember, for me, I have literally only started playing D&D games like this since we started recording. I do want to run a game eventually, but it's a bit of a flaky thing for me. I say, oh yeah, I'll do that, and never quite do it. So I don't want to promise anything, but I would like to run a game one day.
Yeah. I say, because running the game's not for everyone, and it's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. We've got a couple of questions. One last usual question, and a couple of ones that's been submitted by a couple of people. Mainly is, where can people find you?
Find me?
Yeah, online. Say any handles you want to share, or
that's awkward sausage.
I've heard
So
that before.
you can't really find me on anywhere. I don't do social media. I mean, I do have a Facebook. I'm not an invalid. I mean, but I can't remember the last time I logged in. But then I do have Facebook Messenger.
So basically, the way to find you is to go onto the Pint Cthulhu Discord.
That's it. Discord's the one. Just as long as you shout my name, as Cartman, make sure you get my attention. I'll figure it out. Or Matt will tell me and bug me, and then I'll put something on there.
I'm sure we can get Matt to give him a way to find the Discord, because it's a nice little place there. My questions are just a couple of bonus questions now, if you're still okay.
No, far away, man. I'm good.
Yeah. If money wasn't an option, where would you travel to?
Ooh. If money was an option. Probably be Hawaii. Get on tropical. Something tropical and hot. But I am a man of luxury. So, as I said, if money wasn't an option, I would go for the most top-notch hotel you could think of. 5-star, first-class flights, no expense spared. Just 2 weeks of pure pamper.
Yeah.
And obviously the best food, like Michelin star quality.
Yeah. Fish and chips.
All the way.
Or you can eat pizza.
Yeah, but the question is, will there be pineapple on that pizza?
That's a discussion for a different time.
Just to rile people up.
Yeah, that's a discussion for the Discord.
Yeah, but if you're in Hawaii, it's only right, Okay, we shouldn't go into this. We should really stop now.
I think that would be as a local pizza, not a Hawaiian pizza.
That's the question.
And basically, my final question is, what is one thing to do on your bucket list?
Oh, wow. That is a question. I mean... that's a very good question. I've got no clue. Yeah, actually, okay. Go on then. One thing on my bucket list, that would be to visit a Buddhist temple in like East Asia.
Okay.
Like, just very interested in that sort of faith and the people who follow the Buddhism faith. Would love to visit one of their temples. Just tourism visit. Just look around, enjoy it. It's what it is. But yeah.
I've not heard that on anybody's bucket list, so thanks for that, mate. Give me a thing to think about. That's me done, basically. Anything you want to add?
Not really. I mean, just to summarise out, it's been a good sort of time with the APOC crew. As I said, for me, it is really thanks to Matt about how I got into this. I said I'm a man who keeps to himself mostly. I mean, I'm also a gardener, so very much sort of with my work. But it wasn't until Matt got to me and said, he's putting a game together. This is, and I was like, okay. And I said to him, I'm all good for playing the game, but I don't want my voice to be recorded. He was like, oh, and then as I said earlier on, that sort of went out the window. As he was quite adamant on recording it, he wanted to put it online and share it with everybody on the platforms. But no regrets. It's definitely been a very good fun, I think. And it's also been nice to sort of share that as well. What I will say is it did surprise me, the people who are actually listening to us. And we actually started to get a bit of a following, Obviously, thank you very much, Mr. Interviewee, who's following us, as I said. So, yeah. No, and thanks for the interview. It's been a good one. It's been nice talking to you as well.
Thanks for agreeing to do it.
No, it's been good. Ugh. Yeah, it's not every day you get interviewed and talk about games, so...
Yeah.
I admit I was, when Matt said, you were interviewing us, I was like, oh, why are you interviewing us? I was like, oh yeah, just to talk about how we got into this and games and stuff. Like, okay, that's a new one.
People want to know. I do, particularly. That's why I decided to do it.
Yeah, no, cool.
We'll finish this off so Matt can edit this down.
Cool, so should we say stop it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Done. Thank you. Good stop.